Catherine Katy Ferguson, a genuine New York City Shero. Catherine Williams was born into slavery in 1779. When her mother was being transported to New York City from Virginia, she was born. Katy Williams was then sold away from her daughter when she was 8 years old, and she never saw her mother again. Catherine was also called Katy. Katy was determined to one day gain her freedom and to make the world a better place. Katy wanted to learn to read, but her mistress told her that she was too smart already, smarter than her own children, so she refused. Katy remained illiterate throughout her life. At the age of 10, she asked her master, a Presbyterian elder, for her freedom, promising to live a life serving God, but he refused. At 16, she found a woman who agreed to purchase her freedom for $200 if Katy would repay her. It took her 11 months of in-kind work to pay $100 back, and members of her church paid the remaining debt. At last, Katy was free. To make a living, she started a business baking cakes and pastries. Katy was excellent at her work. In the New York City bakery business, she was one of the most profitable Black women entrepreneurs during the antebellum period. Katy's fame was established by making wedding cakes that earned her such a reputation that she did not have to advertise to get business. She was a favorite among the wealthy whites of the city, baking and catering their social events. Additionally, her business included the specialized cleaning and care of fine linens, lace, and silk. Frederick Douglass called her a celebrated cake baker. Katy loved children and wanted to be a mother. She married Mr. Ferguson at the age of 18. She bore two children, but both died during their infancy. Her husband died soon after the children. She was heartbroken, but her strong belief in God carried her through. She worked hard at her business, but the compassionate mother and motherless woman was committed to the education and safety of all children. Although illiterate, Ferguson founded the first Sunday school in New York City. Every Sunday, she brought children to her home at 51 Warren Street in order to provide them with religious education. From her house, and through the encouragement of the local minister, Reverend Dr. John Mitchell Mason of the Associate Reformed Church, her Sunday school was moved to the basement of his church on Murray Street in 1814. The school later became the Murray Street Sabbath School. Ferguson's teaching instructions, including the memorization of hymns and scripture. Volunteer teachers began to teach the children basic academic skills. Apart from educating children, Ferguson also held prayer meetings for children and adults twice a week, a work that went on for more than 40 years. This was a time when the poor were numerous and many were sent to almshouses. There were homeless, desolate children in cities roaming the streets, fighting and stealing what they needed. They slept in alleys and worked dirty jobs for a few cents a week. Many were orphans or abandoned by their parents. Katy Ferguson made it her life mission to help these children. Believing that every child should be educated and safe, Katy took care of over 48 children. She had gathered them from the streets or from their unfit parents. She fed, clothed, and cleaned them up. She was able to find suitable homes for most of them. Ferguson gained a degree of prominence during her lifetime because of her charitable work, as evidenced by the attention she received from the press when she died. She died of cholera at her home in 1854 at 75 years of age. Her death was noted in the New York Times and a brief biography published in the New York Daily Tribune. A reporter wrote that when Ferguson died, thousands in this community have heard of or known Katy Ferguson, the celebrated cake maker for weddings and other social parties. But many may be ignorant of the extraordinary good deeds which crowned her life. The reporter also said that wherever Katy lived, the whole neighborhood became a better place for it. This is who we are.